to you from Bryant Park, where we're undertaking a series of lunchtime concerts. And so for Scots in Us this week, we're doing a roundup of what's been happening during Tartan Week culturally. We've had the V&A Dundee in town telling us about their wonderful new exhibit, Tartan. It's open on April 1st and will run right the way through to next January. So if you're going to Scotland, a visit to the V&A in Dundee is an absolute must. It has wonderful pieces that cover the works of Dior, Chanel, and also Graham McTavish's favourite jacket with a wonderful tartan interior, I'm told. It really covers everything that there is tartan, even to an Xbox. So let's catch up and hear from the V&A. Also in town was the Fringe. We were very fortunate to be able to put together a preview of Noisemaker's production, Scots, which will be taking place the last 2 weeks of the Fringe this year.
You need me, let this rip. Oh, give me a problem, I'll solve it. Give me a future, I'll see it. Give me a reason not to change the world. Give me a page and I'll quill it. Give me a stage and I'll fill it. Give me a reason not to change the world. I'm William Cullen, and here's my stitch. I keep it cool, so I invented the fridge. James Chalmers gonna leave you down, cause you've been licking my postage stamp. Who's on the phone? It's A.G. Bell, calling to say I've got the graphophone as well. What? Pneumatic tires, John Boy, don't go. Oh! Alan McMasters will make your toasters pop.
The Fringe will be announcing their programming the coming weeks, and we look forward to catching up with them then. Although they weren't here in person this week, the National Library of Scotland has so much going on. They just recently opened their Treasures Gallery, and in the coming months you will always see a changing of exhibits and different things that they are now able to spotlight in the Treasures Gallery. And so we take a moment to show you all that is going on over at the National Library of Scotland.
My fingers trace the white pit stops of the herringbones, the refrain of spokes which cross like fingers to fill it daylight.
This letter, incomplete in translation, looks like my view. It is, I think, in my East Coast home, partly made of har and smear, drawing the insular.
Why do we not see everywhere innumerable transitional forms? Why is not all nature in confusion?
First time I saw the Iona Salto was when I accepted this commission, and I was immediately struck by the devotional quality.
Your job as a poet is to observe. That's your job. You know, through observation comes revelation. Constantly move forward, and if they stop, they die.
When people watch my little film in response to the film from 1932, I want them to feel a certain rhythm, a certain poetics, and that's why my voiceover has got some kind of rhymes in it, and I would love people to feel those little rhymes and rhythms.
The song is an attempt to just draw attention to how much things have changed, but at the same time, the parallel between the Black Death and the fact that when I was invited to write this, we were in the middle of a pandemic that we thought we would never see.
It's vellum, so it has that fusty smell. Some of the pages have been stained, so you really are engaging with the reality of other people's lives, the physicality of other people's lives.
Turn the hearts of the disobedient to the wisdom of the just. That was a common practice. The prince had his horse shot under him. The prince had his horse shot under. Footnote 1, not true.
It's just dried ink, you tell yourself, scratched out on parchment, couried hearts sung apart.
Watching the river that carried you gush ice into the fjord, feasting on boiled salmon, ham torn, bones becoming toothpick spears.
Her story in print everywhere I look, her laugh, my treasured calligraphy, her silence, a spine's break. I am my mother's first printed book.
In the coming weeks, we're going to be hearing more from the National Galleries of Scotland. But just now, as we do this roundup of things going on around our great art institutions of Scotland, we wanted to spotlight that the National Gallery has a new contemporary exhibit about to open from Sir Graham Paisley called Smash Hits. On the horizon for 2024 are several new museums that are going to be reopening after undertaking extensive renovation. One of the most exciting projects is the capital improvement project of the Paisley Museum. It's a $60 million regeneration of the area. And so we'll take a moment to catch up with Paisley and remind you of all that they're getting up to.
My name is Amanda Levitt. I am the principal of ALA, and we're extraordinarily privileged to have won the competition to reimagine Paisley Museum, and that's where I am right now. To really sum up for me what this project is about being brave, being radical and being innovative, and to really reimagine Paisley Museum and to tell the untold story of Paisley. When I read the brief for the project, I was astounded because it was one of the most radical and ambitious briefs I've ever read. And what fascinates me is that Paisley is a town, it's not even a city, but the ambition of this project is greater than many national museums, and I love ambition. What's radical about the brief is almost, in a sense, what's radical about Paisley. Paisley has a very radical past. It has a proud industrial history. It has a history of innovation. It's a community with great resilience. It's as though radicalism is built into the community of Paisley, and I think it's our task as architects to try and express that through the narrative that runs through the museum, but also through the design and through the way that we negotiate, if you like, the relationship between the high street and the museum.
And so from Bryant Park, thank you for being a part of Tartan Week 2023. It was a wonderful week, very exhausting, and we're just about to do our concluding concert at Bryant Park of the Sounds from Scotland. Thank you very much, and to catching up with everybody very soon.